Confined space attendant. Objectives. Understand the definition of a confined space. Understand the definition of a permit-required confined space. Understand the duties of a confined space attendant. Note: prior to reviewing this video, you must review the confined space general information video. Definition. A confined space is large enough to enter and perform work, has limited access, is not designed for continuous human occupancy. A permit-required confined space occurs when there is an actual or potential hazardous atmosphere, materials are present that could engulf an entrant, it has an internal shape that could trap an entrant, or it contains other serious hazards. Examples include washers and vessel skirts, such as in the lime kiln area. In almost every instant, entrance into a confined space will require a permit. Coordination with mill personnel is key in determining if a space is permitted. Attendant duties. Confined space attendants, also known as a hole watch, have several responsibilities that are key to ensure the safety of personnel who enter confined spaces. Attendants need to monitor entrance from outside the space. They need to know the hazards that could be faced. Hazards should be included on the permit and the pre-job safety assessment. They need to understand the behavioral effects of exposure. It is essential that attendants know what potential hazardous atmosphere is present in the space and the effects they could have on entrance. They need to maintain an accurate count of entrance, and they need to communicate with entrance as necessary, either visually or through radio or some other appropriate means. Other attendant duties. They need to monitor activities inside and outside the space. Example: is combustion equipment operating outside the space that could result in carbon monoxide gas being introduced into the space? They need to protect the permitted space. This means preventing unauthorized personnel from entering the space. They need to perform non-entry rescue. Evacuate personnel from the space in case of an emergency. Notify the rescue team in case of an emergency. And maintain and document atmospheric monitor readings. Note: in most cases, confined space attendants must be identified with a high visibility vest. Contact the mill representative to ensure that attendants have the correct vest. Other attendant duties. Attendants shall not leave the space while entrants are inside the space unless they are relieved by another attendant. Attendants must have a full understanding of the permit. It is their responsibility to help ensure that all aspects of the permit are accurately met and maintained while the work is being performed. This is important. Attendants are required to maintain communication at all times with entrants. Sleeping, texting, or other similar activities are not permitted. And finally, further instruction on the specific confined space will be done prior to beginning confined space work. Quiz 1. A confined space is large enough to enter and perform work, has limited access, and is not designed for continuous human occupancy. A, true. B, false. 2. Confined space attendants must monitor entrance from outside the space. A, true. B, false. 3. Attendants do not have to understand a confined space permit. A, true, B, false. 4. Attendants are required to maintain communication at all times with the entrance. A, true, B, false. 5. Attendants can sleep or text as long as no one knows. A, true, B, false.